hole into the surface of Mars.
Greetings, my demonically challenged friends. Welcome to Extra Credits, the one show of the week we're talking about video games, and, well, more video games. Joining me is my usual co-host. We have the Gravedigger himself, Castor. How you doing, buddy?
How's everybody doing tonight?
Yes, you look awfully sea.
Yeah, I know. I got in here without putting my logo on. I was trying to rush.
It's okay. We're happy to have you here. You got in just after the bell, and luckily I have a tolerance. So
Yeah.
So yes, we are indeed talking about Doom, and I figured if I'm going to talk about one of the greatest video games ever made, I'm going to phone in a friend. I need a subject matter materials expert. So I called the man who I know knows a lot about Doom. We have the man for whom Doom is always eternal. We have Lugzburg.
Yes, it is good to be back.
And we have channel member JB being the first comment. I want to see somebody get Doom running on their Tesla computer and use a card. I think somebody's already done that.
That does sound familiar.
So we will have a section of the video where we're talking about Doom running on everything. But first, I just wanted to establish some like ground layers. So we're gonna go around, and I'm gonna ask my co-host, what does Doom mean to them? And Castor, since you're at the bottom, how about you go first?
All right, I'm the power bottom. All right. So, what does Doom mean to me? Well, I'm not very fluent with the franchise as a lot of people are. I've played it. I do own it, like on Xbox Arcade. So I have played Doom and Doom 2. But I remember back in the day, like that was the game, or one of the games to play. Because it was, this one of the games that you didn't want your mother watching you, catch you playing.
I mean, if your mother was cool, maybe.
Yeah, if your mother was cool, but like most moms, you got that soccer mom. Now she don't want you playing those those games. But
And then you have the cool mom that actually gives you a copy of Doom.
oh yeah, same with like Mortal Kombat. But
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like I've always, Doom's kind of always been in the background. It's amazing how far the series has come. I do like playing. I've played more of the like classic Doom games than I have played the newer ones, which I do need to play the newer ones. But that's more of my expertise lies with the older ones because that's most of what I played. But it was the first person shooter. It was the thing to get. I mean, I know there was like Wolfenstein before it, I believe, but yeah, but it was like I don't know, it was just something about it. It was mesmerizing.
It's got that sauce.
Yeah, it's got that X factor. Just kick ass music and kicking ass.
So speaking of kicking ass, Lugzburg, as the subject matter expert of Doom, what does it mean to you?
Oh, Doom is primal. Doom is visceral. I've heard it referred to as like the thing to go to when you've had a bad day.
Yeah.
It is peak serious camp.
All right. So Daisy Impaler says Doom is legitimately the most metal game of all time. It laid the groundwork for every FPS and horror. Yeah, yes, it is the most metal game ever. Especially I love how the composer Bobby Prince, he knew just where the line was. Like, okay, I can make them sound just enough like this, but to avoid getting caught or avoid getting sued.
Yeah, I believe he was. I remember hearing he was a music copyright lawyer, or at least something adjacent to that, so he knew exactly how to handle it. And that also, he was apparently instructed to just only make metal tracks, but he had the foresight to know that some of the levels would be more subdued and require more subdued music, so he made some atmospheric pieces ahead of time just in case, and he was right on the money.
Yeah, actually, my favorite Doom track, I think it's a Doom 2 track, is Into the Sandy City is probably one of my favorite.
Oh, yeah, that's everyone's favorite. It's only in one level, and it's not even a city level. It's in the pit. But it's just in the one level, a very incidental level, but that's the one everyone always remembers. It's like,
Yeah.
I think I remember hearing that, like, he kept trying different instruments, and John Romero kept telling him, nah, use a different one. Nah, use a different one. Nah, use a different one. And finally, Bobby was just getting fed up and decided to just troll him and like, okay, let's do the most random nonsensical thing I can think of. A harpsichord. I'm sure that'll annoy him. And then John's just like, perfect! And it just worked.
Yeah, so we got Black Reaper Kai. We got a Reaper King in the chat. He says, sup, brother? And then My Time to Shine says, my buddy had Wolfenstein 3 and the OG Doom on PC back in the day, and they were on church on Wednesdays and Sundays. People, we downloaded a mod that turned the giant demon bosses into Barney the dinosaur. Oh my god!
Oh man, yeah. People often forget, but apparently, like back in the day, Doom was considered a straight up horror game and virtual reality because, well, they didn't really think of first person shooter as a term back then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was until Half-Life, I think.
Dave says a monster prize Metallica, Slayer, Pantera, and others can try to sue. I guarantee you, Lars thought about suing. I guarantee you, Lars needed a third pool, so he's probably thinking about suing. Mm-hmm. God, I love that South Park episode. Yes, mod existed back in the 90s. Yes, one of my favorite vintage Doom mods is the Tim the Toolman Taylor mod, which just like turns everything into Tim from Home Improvement. And, like the sprite, it is like the most 90s mod ever.
That's awesome.
Oh, the Barney mod was legit. I believe it. And Black Reaper is playing Monster Hunter Wilds. Nice. Let us know how it is, sir. So for me, Doom is Eternal. I know it's a cheap shot, but it's kind of true. You know, I knew of like honestly, my first experience with Doom was I went over to a friend's house, and he showed me this like blood red Super Nintendo cartridge.
Oh boy.
Yes, and we played around with the we played with like the Doom on Super Nintendo. That was my first experience with Doom. Which Doom on Super Nintendo was actually a surprisingly decent port for what it is. The fact they were able to get Doom running on the Super Nintendo decently is just amazing, honestly. And I think the next time I experienced Doom was I went over my friend's house, another friend's house, and he was like the one kid in the neighborhood that had an Atari Jaguar. I remember this. And he was showing me Doom on the Jaguar. And, you know, anybody who knows like Doom port knows the Jaguar version is actually a pretty important one. But yeah, obviously I played different versions throughout the years. I think I have some diskettes for the original PC version somewhere around here. I wish I could have dug them out and like throw them on screen, but yeah, Doom is a fascinating game from like so many different ways. Like I find like all the different ports, all the different versions to be interesting, even like all the different like source ports, like Chocolate Doom, Krusty Doom, Edge, yeah, like all of them, like all the way they handle like GZ Doom. I just find that stuff fascinating. I can watch videos. I've watched videos comparing Doom ports, and they're like really cool. Castor, you want to say something? Oh, okay. It's my time to sign. Wolfenstein 3 is ported to the NES. It was ported to the NES, and then they used that for Super 3D Noah's Ark. Yeah, I've seen videos of that game. That game is it's something.
Do we have a brutal Super Noah's Ark 3D yet?
It might have been. I know the 3DO port was like really crusty, but had like really good music for some reason. Well, I know the reason. But yeah, like a lot of the Doom ports of that era were actually based off the Jaguar version.
Wait, if I recall correctly, wasn't 3DO the one with the absolutely chaotic development that was going to have cutscenes or something? I know that was one of them. I think that was the 3DO version.
Yeah, it was like programmed by one woman. It's pretty astounding, actually. Seeing Doom running on a Samsung fridge. Yeah. All right, I think the chat wants to go there, so we're gonna go there. So they say like one of the original internet memes is, can it run Doom? And over the years, we've seen Doom running on some weird shit.
Yes, it's overtaken
probably the weirdest
Crisis.
Probably the weirdest one for me is seeing Doom run on a pregnancy test.
I've heard about that one.
Castor, what are some weird places you've seen Doom run on? All right, well, he's having some issues, so I'll just ask you, Lug. What are some weird places?
Pregnancy test. Yeah, you could say that if you run it on a pregnancy test, you do maternal.
Oh god, that is so bad. I love it.
Okay, so I got
bad.
that from 0 punctuation.
Oh, okay. I actually had
blame him.
Yeah, like that's actually pretty valuable nowadays. I hope, you know, if you still had it, that'd be some money. And then id Software wasn't happy with the butchering session on this. I'm not sure if that's apocryphal or if it's actually true, but I would believe it. And then JB says, the GP in my phone probably runs Crisis. Actually, yeah. I mean, people forget Crisis came out in 2007. And while it was so advanced that, like, I think it was, like, so powerful that, like, even the most powerful graphics card couldn't run it at its full potential. It actually took, like, 3 or 4 years for graphics cards to be able to run it. So, you know. But yeah. So, what are some of your favorite ports of Doom, Lug?
Oh, the one of absolute legend is, of course, the PlayStation version.
I've never actually played that one.
Yeah, that one was very different. They knew full well there was no way they'd be able to have it be quite as technically advanced or have as smooth controls. So they leaned into it and doubled down on the horror aspect, giving it completely different audio by Aubrey Hodges, who did the music and sound effects. And it's from that version where we have what I myself consider the actual Doom theme. Like, we got At Doom's Gate, but that's the level 1 theme. As far as I'm concerned, Aubrey Hodges made the Doom theme, and At Doom's Gate is something else. Like, maybe
yeah.
Maybe you could say it's Doom Guy's theme, and then the Doom theme is a separate track.
So, in my opinion, the unofficial Doom 3 is Doom 64.
Oh yeah, I see that. Or maybe even Final Doom.
Yeah, Final Doom is, to me, is just like a collection of different things. Doom 64 is kind of its own game. Well, it is its own game, but it's still very much a Doom game. Castor, have you returned to us? All right, not yet, it seems. Yep, AVGN did do a version. I actually remember that one. Yeah, most PS1 3. Yeah, because the camera controls were so difficult. But Dave the Impaler. Yeah, you might want to dig it up. Complete, it's going for 221. So yeah, I thought it was more actually. I thought it was like going for like almost 1,000, but I guess I was wrong. The Jaguar version was supposed to have the cutscenes. Okay. Sorry, I was just typing on a message. Yep. So Castus has some technical issues. He'll be back with us when he can. So we're just gonna hold down the fort. And then Dave says that was kind of an urban legend about id. In truth, Wisdom Color Tree bought the license Wolfenstein engine a few years prior for a Hellraiser game that was never made. Oh my God! That is
the seething irony.
Like that is some whiplash right there. A Christian game, a Christian company doing a Hellraiser. Like I think like it has to be one of those things where they didn't know what they bought. I have to feel like that.
Oh yeah, I think something like that happened with how 4Kids got One Piece in a package deal.
Okay, tangent or no tangent, I gotta hear this story.
Okay, like I remember hearing that they got it alongside some other show. I forget what other anime it was, but yeah, that some other anime they wanted, and it was a package deal to get One Piece with it. And they weren't really sure what it was they had, but they wanted the other show, so they got it. And then they realized to their utter horror how much more mature it was than they thought it would be, and how much they'd have to edit. Like what was the other show? Like maybe it was Tokyo Mew Mew or something. I forget what specifically.
Oh God. Yeah, that sounds like 4Kids, honestly. Oh, but yeah, I'm all right, so I'm pulling up a list of the top 10 craziest things you can play Doom on. I want to go through this. Go through this list. All right, so ATMs. Yeah. I mean, most ATMs are running Windows XP, so that's fair.
I think
oscilloscopes running on an oscilloscope. How? Printer? Okay. Yep, graphing calculators. Someone mentioned that. Yep, right as it does. Imagine that's how you first play Doom, Lug.
Well, mine wasn't on PC.
Oh, someone got it running on a business card. That's kind of cool. Imagine if that's your business card. I mean, look at the circuitry. Imagine if that's your business card, it just plays Doom. How cool would that be? Wait, they got it running on an HDMI adapter. How? Oh my God, this is crazy. They got it running in a PDF file. Google search bar. Got it running on gut bacteria? What? What the frick, man? Oh God. They got it running on gut bacteria. I've even seen people run Doom in Doom, so Doom can run Doom. Doomception, I guess. All right. It's time to wake up, says. To be fair, Wisdom Tree only became a Christian video game company to avert Nintendo's lockout controversy. They wagered that Nintendo wouldn't sue Jesus. Oh my God, I love that. I guess that.
That's correct, but I'm not sure how that's relevant to their thought process.
They wouldn't sue Jesus. I'm sorry, but just that is a sentence I never thought I'd ever read. They wagered that even Nintendo wouldn't sue Jesus. That is...
You underestimate the power of Nintendo Ninja DMCAs.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
They would try.
Before Wisdom Tree, there was a company called Color Dream, known for unlicensed NES games called 2020. They started doing and then It's Time to, it says Jinx, Dave, it's time to wake up a Coke. Because Jinx, you owe him a Coke, kind of thing. So yeah, I have declared it. It is law now. But yeah, Doom is like just one of those games that just never really went away. It's like the game's like what, 40 years old at this point, and it's never gone away. Like, it's always kind of been the background of gaming. Like, everyone has played Doom. Look, your mother's probably played Doom.
I don't think so. I know she played a bunch of Pac-Man Adventures in Time.
Your mother should play Doom. Oh, that'd actually be a good video for you. Like reacting to my mother play Doom or something. That's a good classic. Have a Pepsi for TV game. It's like we said at the same time we were even, no Coke required. Okay. All right, we have Peace in the Nations. Simplify Nations to come along. Oh god. But yeah, like obviously with the source ports kind of going on, and the modding never stopped. There's like the Simpsons mod. What are some of your favorite mods, Lug? And in the chat, tell us what your favorite mods are.
Yeah, oddly enough, I haven't delved all that deeply into the mod scene. I've started to get more into it since I started having regular streams back in October. Heck, I was just doing one earlier today. I just started Ancient Aliens. So yeah, I still have yet to experience some of these classics. I've mostly just done with the base campaigns, but yeah, I am trying to get more into that.
Lug, have you played Nuts.wad?
No, I don't think I've done any of the slaughter map stuff yet.
Are you familiar with Nuts.wad?
Yeah, that's got like some massive open environment with 10,000 enemies coming at you all at once or something.
Something like that. I'm pulling up a video of it right now. Like, just imagine doing this on a stream. Oh, I could see this being pretty good. All right. And then JB says, Jinx was more serious thing in the 80s when it was a line of Coke, not a Coke. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that, Lug. Those are all enemies.
Hey, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Imagine doing this one. They don't call it Nuts.wad for a reason. My favorite Doom mod was the guy who got arrested for modding Doom to be his workplace and the monsters were his coworkers. Maybe that was Quake. I don't remember now. Yeah, and oh god, speaking of real life modding, oh yeah, that one blew up. My house. Wad, I think it.
Yeah, I actually tried that last week. Pro tip, myhouse.wad is actually not the one you want. myhouse.pk3 is the actual one. I found that out late. I dove in blind, tried to stream it, and made an idiot out of myself wandering around for an hour trying to figure out where the weird stuff was. And myhouse.wad is pretty much just a demo that has just the house and nothing else. PK3 is the one you're looking for.
All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back, sir. So we've had a flurry of new people, so I got to greet them. We have Herman the Lore Forge. Yo! And then Happy Dinosaur says, happy day to you, Phoenix. Happy day to you. Happy Dinosaur. Always love it when the people come in. And then didn't the Columbine kids? Yeah, I was kind of starting to lead into that. Wait. If you're new here, please consider liking the stream. Subbing if you haven't. Oh gosh. Gotta love the chip tunes. Yeah. So Castor.
Yes.
Have you been keeping up with the stream?
I've been listening. I just haven't been able to participate. Yeah.
So anything you want to add to the stuff we previously talked about?
Well, I want to ask Lug a question, and I know he's answered it before on a different stream, I think, but we'll get it again. Okay. Why are they called WADs?
It stands for, where's all the data?
Ah. That it?
So, yeah,
I think it might have been
Oh,
Carmack's
oh.
idea.
I think the way it went was I think it was like Carmack called Romero. It's like, all right, I need a three-letter acronym, or something. And he's like, WAD, where's all the data or whatever.
I see.
But Castor, I have a question for you. Do you
Yes.
know how Doom got its name?
I have no idea.
Well, so don't say anything, Lug. Don't you dare say anything. So it came from a movie, a Tom Cruise movie. In fact, what's this?
What you got in there? In here?
Oh,
That-
wow.
That is
Really?
literally the origin of the name.
Wow.
It's not- don't remember that, but it's clearly possible given the timing. Yeah. Oh gosh. So yeah, Doom has always kind of been a controversial game. Like I've heard some people call it like a very Christian game because you're killing demons. I can kind of see you making an argument for having it be a Christian game because you're killing the forces of hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not been without its controversy. We definitely need to do a section about the Columbine massacre because like Doom got kind of looped up into it because it was reported that they made levels based off the school to train in. That is a lie. They made levels, but I've actually seen playthroughs of them. They're just regular Doom levels.
Okay.
Yeah. But people always they always try to remove it. Yeah, like it's not that you could probably, if you looked, you could probably find the levels somewhere on the internet.
That does seem like sensationalism, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, well, they were using
Hey,
Doom.
Jason.
And it also sounds like something that, like, the Satanic Panic would come up with. It was like, they were using Doom to plan mass shootings, and then like, don't let your kids play it, or they'll plan mass shootings too. Like some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, like I know there's like playthroughs of them.
Oh yeah, and incidentally, I did buy Doom off eBay yesterday.
Which version?
The 32X.
That's actually not a bad version.
That was actually a pretty good version. They got one called Doom Resurrection for the 32X. It's a homebrew.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Doom Resurrection on 32X? I know that's a phone game.
That's a mod. It's a mod, and I believe it's also opened the door for like a lot of other mods. Like they got Sonic Robo Blast on the 32X because of the Doom Resurrection part.
Yeah, and then they got then they have something called Doom Fusion, which has Resurrection on it, has Doom 1, has a bunch of other Doom games on it. It's also for the 32X.
Mm-hmm. So catching up with some comments here. Jason says, "I'm late, better late than never. Thank you, channel member Jason Ingram. Always happy to have you here." Dave says, "They were just kids who played Doom like millions of others. Yeah, exactly. Video games card fighting, but violent TVs and movies don't. Yeah, exactly. That you hit the nail on the head there, sir. And then Jason says, "I'm writing a fantasy novel to influence the youth into reading." You evil, evil man, you. but yeah. You were saying, Castor? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh no, just saying that I bought a Doom 64. I can't wait for it to get here.
Oh, yeah. Like I do love like how Doom 64 has kind of had a resurgence in the past few years. Because it was just known as like that cool Doom game on the N64.
Or not
now
this,
it's like
I'm sorry, not 64, 32X. What am I talking about? But yeah, they also made Doom 64. Yeah.
Yeah, like Doom 64 was just known as like that cool Doom game on the N64. Now it's more like it's a legit entry in the Doom series now. Like it's
Yeah.
not just another version of Doom, it's a legit entry. And I gotta say, Doom 64 is probably my favorite like Doom game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. They tried to blame The Matrix for Columbine 2. Movies like Fight Club. Yeah, I remember that time. That was a really like they got so bad, reporters actually started camping outside of Hot Topics to harass the people who shop there.
Wow.
Yes, Jason. Doom 64 was the best. I loved how atmospheric it was. Like it had this nice, like it had Aubrey Hodges soundtrack, and it was just so like I said, atmospheric. Like the horror stuff was just a max. Oh, it's just a really great game to play. Plus, the thing I love about Doom 64 is the levels are kind of a puzzle box. Like, yes, you can shoot and kill stuff, but the point of each level is to figure out the puzzle, and I find that to be kind of interesting. Lug, what's your feelings on Doom 64?
Oh yeah, I really rather like it. It is interesting in the fact that the vast majority of it takes place in hell. I think that's like what starts in like level 9 and then it just never lets up. But yeah, it is a little esoteric. It is definitely the more esoteric one. It kind of almost starts to tap into like heretic hexen stuff in a sense when that's
oh god, we need a heretic hexen revival so bad. And then Dave the Impaler says, people joke Doom 64 is reevaluated because people can actually see the levels now. As a person who has owned the N64 version and played it on CRT, that's not too far off, I would say, actually. Because it is pretty dark. Playable, but dark. Castor, what do you think of Doom 64?
I mean, I really don't have much of an opinion on it because I've never played it myself because I never really had a 64, so it's something I can't really comment on too much.
I mean, it's available on everything now.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can play Doom on everything, right?
No, they've re-released it. Like you can buy it on the Switch.
Okay, all right. Just
Doom,
or is it like a collection?
No, it's Doom 64. I mean, there is like the Slayer collection you can buy for the Switch that has like all the Doom stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might have to do that.
Doom 3 has been released and everything. Like you can buy Doom 3 on the Switch. Yeah, Doom 3 on the Switch is actually pretty decent port. They added like the motion controls, which actually worked pretty well. But speaking of Doom 3, I find that to be an interesting game. Before I go any further, Lug, what do you have to say about Doom 3?
Yeah, that one's interesting. I guess I do have like maybe 3 copies of it. I mean, there's the original and the BFG edition, which like adds an extra campaign and finally puts the flashlight back the way the devs apparently wanted it. Because there's such a fiasco about the flashlight.
Oh, I actually remember that time because they had the duct tape mod. Like that was like the most popular mod for that game, and they kind of made it standard in the re-releases.
Yeah, apparently, from what I understand, that was how the game was intended to be played initially, but they had just pushed the tech so hard that they couldn't have all the the gunplay, the physics, the light, and all that all at the same time. So they had to make it a handheld thing.
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Okay. Before we go any further, let's check out some comments. So he hasn't played Hexen in years. I've actually never played Heretic or Hexen. I need to try those.
I did try a bit of Heretic.
Hmm.
But yeah, and apparently, Doom 3 was so close to beating Half-Life 2 to the punch on something big. It was so close. They almost had it. They could have totally done it. They could have beaten them to the punch with a gravity gun. Apparently,
Well, that was the DLC. That was the DLC.
the grabber. Apparently the grabber that was in the expansion pack Resurrection of Evil was initially made as just a developer tool for just dropping random debris into levels, but they didn't implement it as part of the actual game until the expansion pack. They could have, and they could have beat Half-Life 2 to the punch. It was right there.
And the problem was, by the time they did Resurrection Evil, it's just, they're just trying to chase Half-Life 2. Yeah. All right, catch up with some comments. Says, Tiger Handheld and the Risk games are best Doom ports, but of course
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God, Tiger Electronics.
Tiger Handheld.
Oh, I definitely recommend you get that BFG edition, play the Lost Mission. That whole thing is awesome. They pretty much, I wish more games would do something like that, because like it's pretty much just all comprised of of cut levels from a very different build of the game when it was early on in production, and it is a lot more arcadey. I wish more games would have stuff like that. That was so cool.
Yeah. Dave says, I could tell you a few stories about how I was treated when Columbine happened. Math teacher made them switch me to another class because she said she was afraid of me, for example. Oh, gosh. I can believe it. Like, I remember similar stuff from around the time of 9/11. But yeah, that's got to be on the scope of the stream. I don't want to read that one. Did you go by Dave the Impaler back then? Yeah, if he did that, I could actually, like, that would make sense. Then Dave the Impaler says, I love Doom 3. It leaned more into intimate thrill horror gameplay and was awesome. I like Doom 3, but it does feel like they're just kind of more like they're trying to catch up to the popular trends. And because like John Carmack had that infamous quote, story in a video game is a lot like story in a adult film. You expect it to be there, but it's not really that important. And I know Lug's going to jump in and say something about that. Leg?
Yes.
I said a quote, and I was expecting you to have a rebuttal.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. I guess Lug stepped away for a few moments. That's fine. I did the John Carmack story in video games quote. All right. What do you want to say about it?
Yeah, that took on a life of its own and has just been haunting id ever since. And it's nice to see the Dark Ages finally buck the trend, because contrary to what I keep saying with that quote has nothing to do with Doom in the first place. It was never a mission statement from id. In fact, kind of the opposite, because id Software were pioneers of storytelling in action games. Like, if you wanted a more story-focused video game, you pretty much had to look for like point-and-click adventures, text-based adventures, RPGs, and such. But no, id was pushing lore and story in real-time action games more than most other games at the time.
I mean, Doom was fairly minimalist. I mean, we all know they threw out the...
Yeah, it was handled more like how we see Metroid Prime or Dark Souls lauded today. It was more low-key. You had to piece it together. Or you could even compare it to something like He-Man or Bionicle. But yeah, it was there. It wasn't at the forefront, but it definitely wasn't this disregarded thing that they shrugged off. Like, it was there, just not the forefront. You had to puzzle it together.
Yeah, like Doom 3 almost feels like a reboot of the... Like, it is a reboot, essentially, of the series.
Kind
doesn't
of.
really-
There's that weird part towards the end that heavily implies that it's a parallel universe, and at some point, the actual Doom guy popped in for a little bit and then left. When you look at some stone tablets shortly before the final boss,
I know that like
weird.
Doom 2016 definitely goes out of its way to make sure to be like, yeah, Doom 1 and 2 happened.
2016, not really. They kept it really esoteric there. It was a very is it or is it not? It was yeah, that is weird. And then I'm not sure what to make of how Doom Eternal sort of didn't try to go there. It was really weird.
All right, so continuing with some comments here. He says that teacher was a psycho. She was yeah. Oh God, sorry, I'm getting flashbacks to my own like school experience. Story in a corn, story in a video game. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and then like not long after he made that quote, Carmack actually successfully pushed for not just one but 2 Doom RPGs. So yeah, that was not something he like really had his heart set on. It was just a random incidental quote that just blew up for some reason.
And then he says, "I've actually met Carmack. That must be an experience." And then driving, by the way, Doom 2016 references the originals in kind of a meta mythological sense. Like, for example, you can see like the ruins of the icon of sin in Doom 2016.
I mean, yeah, that could be anything though.
By the way, if anyone is a Doom fan or just a general id fan, there is a book that I highly, highly recommend. I cannot recommend this book enough. Lug, you may have heard of this book, but it is a great book.
Yeah, that's the one the quote comes from.
So this is Masters of Doom. It's more of a story of id. It's based on the story. It tells it's the framing device is like the 2 Johns. You know, Carmack and Romero. The 2.
Sounds like some kind of war between kingdoms.
Like it tells the story of like them making id and like their breakup, and it kind of goes. It basically kind of stops around the year 2000, like after the failure of Ion Storm. But this is a really good book, and like when it comes to like video, like books to read if you're interested in video games, this one is like on the top 10. Have you read this, Lug?
Not yet. Probably should check it out sometime.
You really should. Yeah, it's reversing it. Let me there. I'm not mirroring my camera anymore. There we go. There we go. Now you can see it. Masters of Doom. The book title is a Necronomicon. Another really funny thing we're talking about the icon of sin is, you know, like the whole in order to beat the game you must defeat me, John Romero, and they actually put John Romero's head in there. I thought that is like one of the coolest things ever, you know.
Did you mirror again?
Yes, I did mirror. I Nintendo switched it up.
What?
Boo.
Will we get Dark Ages on Switch?
We might get on Switch too.
Oh yeah, good point. That is coming up.
It's probably going to come on Switch too, I think. Which speaking of, we kind of touched upon it, but like, so we obviously Doom 3 came out, and that was kind of the crisis of its time. Like, it really pushed PC hardware back then. I remember when it came out. Sorry.
Yeah, that and Half-Life 2.
Yeah, definitely Half-Life 2. And then Doom kind of went silent for about 10 years or so.
Yeah.
So,
making
Lug, would
moves
you like
like
to tell them about the version of Doom we never got, the Call of Doom?
Oh, that. Yeah, from what's leaked now, there's been like so much footage of it that's leaked, and it definitely does not look like Call of Duty whatsoever. It was a lot more like Rage pumped with adrenaline.
So
Like, yeah,
basically,
I played Rage. That was a blast. But yeah, it was very much Rage, not Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't really talk about Rage much, but it was a lot of fun.
Rage, aka John Carmack, gets obsessed with mega textures.
Oh, yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah, Rage was like the last game that like John Carmack had like a heavy hand in, where he was like trying to push like tech in a certain way. Because after that, is when like he left the company not too long after.
Yeah, I think that was their last major project before they got brought in by Bethesda.
Yeah. Yeah, and so like they did Wolfenstein. Like, here's the wildest thing. So like, Wolfenstein: The New Order isn't it like technically a sequel to Wolfenstein 2009?
Kind of. I guess it's really weird how the timeline seems to be working. Like, it's almost like a Zelda-like thing, like what happened with the Zelda split timeline kind of thing. And I guess that kind of happens with just how many times the IP has been passed around to different owners. I mean, id weren't even the ones that created it, contrary to what a lot of people assume. There were 2 other games before Wolfenstein 3D. I think it was Muse Software that created the series.
Wolfenstein was originally an Apple II game, Castle Wolfenstein, and then it did Wolfenstein 3D.
Yeah, there were 2 games. They were kind of like Metal Gear initially,
then,
which is why is
yeah.
I guess pretty much the whole reason why suddenly it's without that context, it seems almost out of nowhere that suddenly the New Order is first-person shooter stealth games. Like, what? Stealth in Wolfenstein? Yep, it's going back to its roots. It's blending the most iconic stuff and its roots together in one. I thought that was pretty cool.
I mean, you also have Return to Castle Wolfenstein in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah, that's the fan favorite. I love that one.
Yeah. And then let's see here. Dave says Doom 3 also had some strong inspirations on the soundtrack, like original Chris Vienna for Nine Inch Nails and Marilyn Manson. Yeah, Trent Reznor was a huge Doom fan. Like, I think he actually had PCs on the tour bus to play Doom while he was touring in the mid 90s. Like, do you know how much of a big deal that was? Like, you got to remember, a PC to play Doom in the mid 90s was like a honking beast. And you had like that heavy CRT monitor. To have that on your tour bus is wild. I heard that, well, for a while they're playing a movie or TV show based on that book. Last good Wolfenstein game. Oh.
Which book?
All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I actually kind of enjoy the Doom movie from the mid 2000s. It is. I haven't seen Doom Annihilation. I hear it's bad.
I'd say both of them were fine. They were both decent sci-fi action films. They make barely any use of the Doom IP, but yeah, they're not bad.
I don't know. I feel like
I've seen much. It could have gone so much worse. Like, neither of them like diss the source material. They just don't use much.
Well, I would argue the first Doom movie is essentially a Doom 3 movie. Like, they basically just took the story of Doom 3. Kind of thing. Like, there is a lot of Doom in that one.
Yeah, and they took the whole, the Doom guy beats up his superior officer, but they made that the climax instead of the prologue.
Also, like, giving The Rock the BFGs, like, that's one big effing gun. Like, I love that. Also, like, the first person sequence is objectively the best part of the movie.
Oh yeah, that was like the part that I had seen long before I actually finally got around to seeing the film. And of course I made sure to see the unrated version.
And then it's time to sign. It says, there is no Zelda timeline. There's never a full timeline. Yeah, it's not really what we're talking about on this stream, but yeah, the Zelda timeline is definitely they made it up as they go along kind of thing. But we're not talking about that here. Maybe another stream. Honestly, I could see that. That's why Regner did the Quake soundtrack. Yep. That's exactly why.
But yeah, like this weird timeline stuff with like Wolfenstein, like even with like different descendants. Like the classic timeline, he had Blazkowicz had a son or sons specifically, but then like in the Machine Games timeline, he has daughters.
Yeah, and then isn't it like
he had a different wife in these different timelines, I believe.
Isn't Doom Guy canonically like BJ's like grandson or something?
Descendant. It depending on like which developer you ask, you'll get a different answer. Like yeah, I believe it was I think let's see, how did it go? I think it was Sandy Peterson says that they are.
Hi Sandy, I hope you're well.
Yeah, like Sandy Peterson and John Carmack certainly, like, and Tom Hall all have some variation of saying that, yeah, he's a descendant of BJ Blazkowicz. I know Tom Hall runs with this idea of like heroism skips a generation, so that like Doom Guy is the grandson of Commander Keen, who's in the grandson of Blazkowicz, whereas then like Sandy Peterson has stated that Doom Guy is the son of Commander Keen, and I think it was John Carmack who proposed the idea that Doom Guy is a direct descendant of them.
So basically, if you want it, it's there.
And then John Romero is just all like, "No, Doom Guy is you."
I love John Romero. I love John Romero. Like he is such a bullshitter, but God, do I love the man.
Oh,
funny that these other three guys have these like similar ideas for the canonical bloodline, and then John Romero's over here like, "No, he's you," just doing his own thing in a completely.
You are Doom Guy. You are Doom Guy. You are Doom Guy. We're all Doom Guy. So it's time to wake up. Say somebody mentioned the Zelda timeline split and got triggered. Sorry. No, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. Oh gosh. We need to do an episode on the Zelda timeline, don't we? Oh god, that'll be
that's a whole mess. That's a can of worms right there.
Yeah, for that one I might try and bring in Buddy Girl Nix to make it a little easier, but
yeah.
Oh gosh. I guess we kind of need to get talking about the new trilogy of games. Like we kind of mentioned them here or there. I like them. I've only really played a good bit of Doom 2016. I haven't played Doom Eternal or the other ones, but I think they're great. I honestly think they're great. What do you think, Castor?
I haven't really played them. I really need to. I played a little bit of Doom Eternal and I liked it a lot. Really gory. It's just awesome, killing zombies and shit. But I haven't. I need to play them. What is it? Doom Eternal, and then like Doom 2016. And then what's the third one?
Dark Ages.
Dark Ages, yeah. So I really need to get on that and play those.
So Dave says, I remember Noble Software, etc. clerk talking about how to buying. That clerk saved your life. So for those who don't know, after John left, I left he formed Ion Storm, and he made the game Daikatana. The game where the advertising said, John Romero's going to make you his bitch. I didn't mean to like drop my voice and go all epic, but it just kind of came out. But like
That's how you read it. That's how everybody read it.
see, the funny thing about Ion Storm is, yes, they did Daikatana, but without John Romero, we never would have gotten Deus Ex.
Yeah, but Daikatana, oh my god, that's just.
I think the fact that like John, like here's the thing about Deus Ex and John, like John Romero, he basically published Deus Ex, but he also trusted Warren Spector. He just said, "All right, I want you to make your dream game. I'm going to give you the money. I'm going to leave you alone." Like honestly, without John, we might not have gotten Deus Ex as it was. So it's a weird thing, you know. What do you think, Lug?
A weird thing?
No, the mixed legacy of Ion Storm.
I'm not quite as familiar with the Ion Storm stuff, but from what I understand, Daikatana was actually pretty solid. It just kind of fumbled things at the finish line because the whole game is built around making use of 2 AI companions, and their AI is completely is a complete mess, and they keep getting stuck on level geometry. But apparently, like, if that one thing was taken care of, the game would be absolutely fine.
Well, here's a problem that Daikatana had. So it was originally made on the Quake 1 engine. And then he saw the Quake 2 engine with his fancy lighting.
Oh no!
And so he basically just had that
forever.
Yeah. But Daikatana eventually came out at least. So he eventually had the entire game redone with Quake 2. Like, if he had just done Quake 1, and like, I'm sure if he had asked John Carmack to backport some of the stuff, John Romero would have done it. It's not like he hasn't done it before, because remember, when they did Rise of the Triad, this Rise of the Triad was made using Wolfenstein. John actually did
going to be a
backport.
Wolfenstein sequel.
Yeah, and John and Carmack actually did backport some of the Doom features to that engine. And as much as people like to say that like Carmack and Romero had like, oh, they hated each other, they really didn't. The relationship got frosty, but they were still like because John still licensed the engine. You know, like sure they had a back and forth, but they were still friendly with each other. Like I can see in this like late 90s scenario, because John was still visiting the offices. Like they weren't on the best of terms, but they were still cordial. I could see John, like Romero, ask him and you know, and here's the thing. You spend that time polishing the game. Yeah, it might not be the most advanced graphically, but it will at least be polished, and I think it would have worked. What do you think, Lug?
I'm not a programmer yet.
What do you think about my alternate timeline?
I don't know. I'm not sure how to like really speculate that.
That's what I think. I love alternate timelines. I love speculating about this kind of stuff. The other thing about Daikatana before we kind of move on is the Game Boy Color game. It has like a surprisingly good Game Boy Color game, and that's because John farmed it out to a Japanese studio.
Yeah, we never got a Game Gear one. We got a Game Boy one.
Well, this was like 97. By that time, the Game Gear was like was not really a thing.
I know. Still, it hurts. Damn it.
So if you're out there and you make homebrew Game Gear games, please make a homebrew Daikatana Game Gear game and send it to Castor.
I'll make a Doom game. Don't Daikatana.
Doom on the Game Gear. Oh gosh.
They had Doom on the Game Boy, didn't they?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, you know. I'm seeing if anybody had ported Doom to the Master System. Because if they ported it to the Master System, because if they have ported it to the Master System, oh God, somebody has ported Doom to the Master System.
Wow.
Oh God, So technically, there is a you could run Doom on the Game Gear.
That's crazy.
That is very, very crazy. And then Dave says Time Splitters ended up being a better version of what Daikatana want to be anyway. Yeah. Time Splitters is also kind of like a weird thing because like basically you had the GoldenEye devs, they left Rare, and then they formed their own company, and then they made Time Splitters. Time Splitters is basically the perfect dark GoldenEye. It's basically that in that lineage. Lug, are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not familiar with Time Splitters.
Honestly, it's a series I think you should check out because, like, I know you like your first-person shooters. Like I said, it's kind of in that GoldenEye lineage because it's made by the same people. Yeah, Game Boy Color would be a challenge. Yeah. I'm actually looking it up right now. Oh God! Imagine somebody porting Doom to Game Boy Color. That would be insane. But yeah, the Game Boy Advance ports of Doom and Doom 2 were actually surprisingly good.
Mm-hmm. Kind of off topic here, but they also made a. If you want to talk about amazing ports, you know they made a Mortal Kombat 3 for the Master System.
Oh, I think that was like for the Brazil market, I believe.
Yeah, it was crazy, but it's the fact that they could get it on there, you know.
Yeah. But
So
I
they had,
really like.
so
Sorry, go ahead.
they had Doom on Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, Doom 1 and 2, and they're surprisingly well done.
Okay, I have to give those a try.
I believe Doom 2 is actually a better port, if I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like first-person shooters on the Game Boy Advance are a really interesting rabbit hole. Like, they got Duke Nukem on the Game Boy Advance, and it runs pretty decently. They got Double 7 game that's in full 3D.
Does it have any audio?
I think so. Yeah.
You know, he's like, "Shake it, baby, yeah."
I mean, if please, for the love of God, never play Duke Nukem on the Gamecom. Tribes. Oh gosh.
I played Ascend.
I've seen a video on that. Like, I would love to, like, if I were to do a game night with, like, if I had like a bunch of subscribers, I would do a game night where we play Tribes, because that's like 64 versus 64 kind of thing. But yeah, the Game Boy Advance actually does have a lot of surprisingly good ports.
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of things it could do, especially it even had its own. Oh, here we go. It even had its own. What it was a video library.
Oh yeah, that was during like that portable boom kind of thing.
Portable craze, yeah. It's like you watch one episode of one show in very crappy format.
All right, here we go.
Now let's see it. I'm very interested. This Game Boy Advance, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like when I'm trying to play video, it's
surprisingly good.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, like I said, it's yeah. He said some former id Software devs went on to work with Oh gosh, the formation of Retro Studios is a really interesting story. Yeah, you can feel the influence. Honestly, now that you pointed out, Dave, like playing Doom 2016, I can feel the Metroid Prime influence. Lug, have you played Metroid Prime?
Oh yes.
So, do you agree with Dave? Like, you can kind of feel the Metroid Prime influence on Doom 2016?
Mm. I don't know. It might be just because that's been an influential game that's just affected the affected games at large. I mean, I know there's like what was it Hugo Martin or Hugo Martin who did designs for Pacific Rim, who then did Doom
Yeah, I think
2016's
it was
visuals,
Hugo Martin.
like
Yeah.
design artist.
I really hope for Doom the Dark Ages there is imagine if they did like a Pacific Rim skin pack so that like one of the levels you could actually be Gypsy Danger fighting like a kaiju or something.
Wow.
Oh gosh. It's gonna get modded. It's gonna get modded in. I guarantee you. Someone's gonna do a Gypsy Danger skin for Doom Guy.
Or at least the mecha that he pilots.
Yeah, Gypsy Danger. That's the mecha.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's you do pilot a mecha in the Dark Ages at some point. At least I assume that's gameplay. I don't know if that's just pure cutscene or gameplay. It's probably gameplay. I hope. That would be cool to try. It is interesting. It looks like we've gotten like vehicles and like a bit of vehicle stuff in Quake, I guess, mostly like Quake 4 really, but it does seem very interesting though that it looks like we'll finally have some kind of like vehicles or mounts or whatever, and instead of cars it's dragons and mechas. Yeah, that's absolutely.
I gotta be honest with you, like vehicles and Quake engine games do not mix. Like anyone who's played any of the Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast games, there's like this one level in Jedi Academy that's like entirely based around speeders, and you're supposed to like use your lightsaber to whack people. That is like the worst level ever.
Sounds exactly like Road Rash.
Except not playable.
Yeah, because it's not playable, yeah.
Retro Studios formed as a dream team of American developers. Nintendo had to scale them back and cancel some projects due to mismanagement. Yeah, because like the guy who formed Retro Studios was kind of a toxic person. Like he was like kind of a scumbag. So it's really fascinating that the studio succeeded in spite of that guy or whatever. But yeah, Retro Studios is a really interesting case. But honestly, I think the only studio that really could make id Tech games sing besides id was Raven Software. Lug.
Yes.
I was talking about Raven Software.
Yes. What I was hearing, but it didn't seem like there was anything for me to follow up on.
I said the only people who could make it sing was Raven Software. I was expecting you to follow up with something.
I don't know what that would be.
Your thoughts on Raven Software?
I don't know a whole lot. Like, yeah, I played Quake 4. I played some Heretic. Definitely have played Singularity a few times. That one is awesome.
Castor, have you played any of the Raven Software games?
Not really. I'm not really too familiar with them. I have played Quake before, but that's about as far as I go.
Yeah, Doom and Quake have like this interesting relationship because like obviously like the first person shooters are made by id. but people like even if you take like the first Quake, which is or Quake 1 and 2, like they're both first-person shooters, but they feel very different.
Oh yeah. I had Quake on the PlayStation, and this is before the analog sticks, and it was really ridiculous to control. You basically had to control. Okay, so you could use the D-pad to go forwards, backwards, left, and right, but to actually aim your gun, you had to use all four shoulder buttons.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to like aim up diagonally, you had to press like over and then like R1. Is really weird. So you were using, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but it was really weird. You had to use basically your thumbstick was the shoulder buttons to aim up your gun up and down, but you can move left and right, back and forward with the D-pad, but to aim your gun up and down, you had to use all four shoulder buttons. It was absolutely weird.
Yeah, first-person shooters in like the PlayStation era are very weird. It wasn't really until like the Xbox PS2 era that they started to kind of nail down first-person shooters, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the fact that like you do need like analog sticks if you're going to play on a console. You just that original that first I tried playing through it, and it is rough without thumbsticks.
Oddly
But
enough,
yeah.
the game that pioneered the dual stick tech actually got it actually got blasted for it when it first came out. I'm talking about Alien Resurrection. Lug, you familiar with that game?
Not really, no.
So it was actually, I think it was made by Argonaut, or it was developed by Dylan Cuthbert, the guy behind Star Fox and Croc. And he pioneered the dual stick, like one to move the camera. And if you look at a lot of reviews from the time, they're like, "We don't know how to do this. Bad score." When in reality, it's like Dylan Cuthbert really pioneered the standard control scheme.
Oh wow, that's silly.
Yeah, the history of gaming, I find
So
really
they
fascinating.
give it a bad grade because of their own incompetence.
Game journalism, everybody. Some things change, some things stay the same.
Yeah. I forgot. I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, exactly.
That video of the game journalist trying to complete the Cuphead tutorial will never not be funny.
Oh my god, they had it on super easy too, didn't they?
Yeah, and the thing is, I've never played Cuphead, and even if I couldn't complete the tutorial, I'm just a gamer with poor skills. They're supposed to be a game journalist. They're supposed to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the history of gaming is really fascinating. Like one of my favorite little anecdotes. So anyone who plays PCs, you know how we have like the WASD movement?
Mm-hmm.
That was pioneered by one person. It was by a guy named Thresh, who is history is kind of called the first pro gamer.
Okay.
Like he did a lot of Quake Doom tournaments back in the mid-90s. And that was his preferred method was WASD. And then that over time that got adopted as standard. I just find that kind of interesting.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Raven, they did Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. Oh god, yeah, that game, which is like basically like a Quake deathmatch, but like Star Trek style. And have you guys ever heard of the X-Men Mutant Apocalypse for like the Quake mod?
No, I haven't.
I don't think I've really tried Quake mods.
It's like a official, unofficial. It's like an official, unofficial like Quake mod. Okay, I'm pulling up a video now. I'm trying to get to the place where Yeah, it's really wild. He showed us some pro gamer moves. Yeah. Oh God, Dave, I hate you. But yeah, check this out. Yeah, I think that's speedball. And gosh, it's still not working. You know what? Screw it. Screw it. We'll just move on. So yeah, look, what's your preferred way to play Doom nowadays?
PC
But how?
on my desktop.
You're not making this easy, sir. Like what setup?
Well,
Like,
your question is esoteric.
It's not like what source port, like what version do you like to play? Because there's a lot of different ways to play Doom nowadays, sir.
I guess I typically play it on like I guess Ultimate Doom on Steam through GZ Doom.
Yeah, GZ Doom has been a really interesting engine because obviously it was made to play Doom games, but now we've seen like this whole boom of like first person shooters.
Well, back in my day, these source ports were being called interpreters.
Oh God. Yep, on Switch. I actually do have a lot of the Doom games on Switch. They work pretty well on Switch. Oh gosh. Yeah, I do love like kind of like booting up a GZ Doom mod because some of them can be like honestly outright beautiful. The thing that I find interesting is like a lot of GZ Doom mods, they enable mouse look. So you can actually like move it around, and it's an interesting experience playing a Doom game with mouse look.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because Castor, did you know that Doom is technically a 2D game?
Yes, I do. And it's kind of weird because like when you go back and you play it, when you've played modern shooters, and then you go back and play Doom, you got to kind of readjust yourself a little bit because you got to realize that you really don't have to aim. You just got to be in the direction of the enemy.
Yeah, at least like on like the same. I don't know if it's like X or Y axis. I think Z is like up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter like if they're up on a ledge like firing at you, as long as like they're in your line of sight, you'll hit them.
So
Well,
like
let's
say the enemy is here. Let's say the enemy is here, and like you're down here, like they're on a ledge. You just need to shoot towards the ledge, and you'll hit them because the game interprets that as like line of sight. Yeah.
Now, a lot of the source ports now will have actually been like erasing that so that you can actually shoot accurately. So if you play through like GZ Doom or something, it'll do it that you'll have to actually aim. In fact, it's a little more 3D than I guess people give it credit for, because like if you go looking through it, the hitboxes are 3-dimensional, and then also like projectile, it'll still like recognize if a projectile is going like above you or below you. Like if a fireball goes over Doom Guy's head, it won't register that as hitting him.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, the other thing aspect of Doom that I always love is the engine. And like there's this whole family tree of like the Doom and Quake engines. And it's ended up in some surprising places. Lug, would you like to speak on that?
I guess I'm not quite as familiar with the engine family tree stuff, but I guess that led into things like I know that led into like the Quake engine, and then we got Gold Source and then Source.
All right, I got it. I got it right here. I got a picture, a nice little picture with pretty little pictures for you. Okay. There we go. So here is the Doom.
Oh boy.
This is the family tree, everybody. Let's
oh boy.
All right, so here we have id Tech 1, and that led to Heretic Hexen. We have Doom 2. We have id Tech 2, which, Rise of the Apocalypse, Raven Software, did Hexen 2, then Team Fortress, and then the Tech 2 is a Quake 1 and 2 engine, essentially. And then that led into the Gold Source engine, which eventually led into the Source engine. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Like that's we're going pretty far down. Then we have the Gold Source era. And then that eventually led to 007 Nightfire.
Oh yes, the PC version specifically.
And then we have Source Engine proper, Gmod, Half-Life 2, Sin, Dark Messiah, Day Defeat, Orange Box, and now we're getting into Source 2 era stuff. Oh, we're not even in Source. We're not even in Source 2 stuff. Look how that's the Valve part of the tree. And then obviously we have id Tech 3, which is the Quake 3 engine, Star Trek Elite Force, Heavy Metal, Return to Castle Wolfenstein, Soldier of Fortune 2. I need to play Soldier of Fortune, honestly. Then we got some Daikatana, like I said. Anyone who watches Civi on YouTube, they'll be familiar with a lot of these games. Agent Under Fire is based off of id Tech 3. And we got id Tech 4, which is the last one released for public domain. Doom 3, Wolfenstein 2009 was based off of that. I didn't know that. And then that leads into id Tech 5 and then a lot of other stuff. And then obviously Source 2. We got all this. Portal 2. Black Mesa. Isn't it just insane? This isn't even all of it. Call of Duty games are actually based off the id Tech engine as well. This doesn't cover everything.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that Doom-inspired boomer shooters made a comeback. Yeah, indeed. Oh, gosh. I need to play those games, honestly.
Yes! In fact, as I understand that Everything or Nothing started out as what was intended to be the last Pierce Brosnan Bond film, but then somehow it turned into a video game. And I guess now that we've got all the Daniel Craig stuff and everything, I guess Everything or Nothing is the end of the original cinematic timeline that started with Dr. No.
Oh God. Holy crap. Wow, that is insane.
Yeah, and then how much of a pain it was to just barely get GoldenEye onto modern systems. I feel like it would be even more of an insane feat to do that with Everything or Nothing, considering
and
stuff.
Yeah, and the only reason GoldenEye was able to get across the finish line is because it's a beloved, iconic game. Everything or Nothing, it's loved, but it doesn't have that cultural cachet. You know what I'm saying? Even normies know GoldenEye.
Yeah. Even normies played GoldenEye.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that was holding back GoldenEye was Eon. Nintendo and Microsoft had kind of reached an accord long ago, but the Broccolis they didn't want a game that didn't star the current Bond. That's why when we got GoldenEye for the Wii, it was this weird Daniel Craig thing.
Oh yeah. The only reason, similarly, how I believe it was Quentin Tarantino actually wanted to make his own take on Casino Royale, and he wanted to make it a period piece. And a big sticking point with Eon was no, we want we want product placement, so everything has to be in the modern day.
Wow.
Yeah, like that's why that's why it wasn't until after No Time to Die where they're in like this void where they did that. It's kind of the same reason why in like because like in the like you remember the From Russia with Love game we got in 2005, which is, by the way, Sean Connery's last credited appearance in anything.
Oh,
Wait,
God
in
rest his
anything? I
soul.
knew it was his last Bond performance, but anything?
I don't think he did, because League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was like his last movie. And he kind of retired from acting after that.
Yeah, he got pissed and said, "Fuck you, nerds," and left.
Actually, yeah, now that you mention all this stuff about, only the new stuff, now it just gets me thinking, I wonder what happened that caused 007 Legends to manifest then.
Yeah, that was a weird thing.
Planets aligned for that one. That was like the one time they could have like all 6, I guess.
All right, so apparently it was not his last credit. I got IMDb pulled up here. It was close though. So I guess he did some like some voice stuff. Huh. So yeah, it's like he has like this career, and then he does League, and it just kind of like grinds to a halt after that. It's funny. And he did For Us with Love, which that's a huge get. Like getting him for that game is kind of a big deal. But he did like some stuff in 2012. That's actually kind of surprising. Yeah, I'm very Amazon is really weird. While I do like Invincible and Reacher is awesome, I'm like they also do some very bad stuff. I need to play that game. We need a remaster for Russia with Love. That needs to be remastered. But if Christopher Nolan, like, honestly, the only way that I could have trust in a Bond film is if they get Christopher Nolan to do it. If they get Christopher Nolan, then I'll give them some trust, because I think Christopher Nolan could do an amazing. Also, were we supposed to get a Bond game by IO Interactive? You know, the Hitman.
Yeah,
people?
I was gonna mention that. I've been wondering what happened. What happened to Project 007?
Because like a 007 game by the people who made Hitman sounds like a really cool idea. Like, imagine a 007 game in the Hitman engine. That sounds actually kind of cool.
Yeah, give us some more of the third-person stuff, like Everything or Nothing. One of the best ones.
No, 007 Racing is the best game ever. I'm not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not good. Finding Forrester. Oh God, you're the man now, dog. Oh God. Is that like that one crazy movie that has like Neil Diamond, Arlie Ernie, and like some other people in it? No, I think that's Saving Silverman. Sorry, different alliteration. Oh my gosh, yeah. The history of it, I just find it to be fascinating, because they changed the industry, and they're still part of it, but it's also like a story of personalities. Because you got like John Carmack, John Romero is like the dreamer, and like John Carmack is like the numbers guy. You know, like that kind of like like. History loves their duos. You know, like the Steve Wozniak, the Steve Jobs kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, do you think we'll ever get the IO Interactive Bond game?
I don't know. Whatever happened to that? That's what I'm wondering. I haven't heard a peep about it since the teaser.
As far as 007 Legends, I think Matt McMuscles did a What Happened episode about it. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I guess I should check that out and finally get my answer.
Yeah, I think that was when Activision owned the rights to the Bond series, and like, because Quantum of Solace was made using like the Call of Duty engine, and you can tell because it plays very much like a Call of Duty game.
Oh wait, they don't have it anymore?
I don't know who has the rights now, because like this was like late 2000s, when they're doing this stuff. I heard Connery was supposed to cameo. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that didn't work out. Like,
Ooh, I
I remember I was
that.
in Skyfall, in like the last third act when they're in Scotland. The character of Kincaid was actually supposed to be Sean Connery. Like they wrote it for him, and it almost happened, but it kind of fell apart at like the last minute. But yeah, we could have gotten Sean Connery in another Bond film. That would have been cool. Like that would have been like late 2000s. Awesome. Yeah. I feel really bad because I feel like if Sean Connery, like imagine all the cool films Sean Connery could have done in the 2000s. Did you know he got offered the part of Gandalf and he turned it down?
Ooh. Yeah, that's kind of why he left.
It was two of them. It was Gandalf and one other. I think it was either Dooku or it was Matrix. I think he got offered the part of some people from Matrix. Hey, well, Baxter.
Well, it's like with Gandalf, he just didn't. He said he didn't get it, like when he was presented with the script, and so he kind of passed on it, and became a huge hit. Then when they said, okay, here's another nerd movie, and it's the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, he's like, you know what? I don't get it either, but you know what? Screw it. Let's do it. And then it bombed, and then he was just like, you know what, nerds, I'm out. Screw y'all.
I mean, he was great in the movie. He did a great performance. Also, hey, wow. Oh yeah, I love that theory of The Rock being his unofficial Bond film. Kate was his Bond girl in that film.
Wow. That's funny.
Have you heard that theory?
I've heard that theory, but not him being his Bond girl.
Oh gosh. I need to see The Rock. I need to see that movie. Just since I'm doing a comic about that's based off of Sean Connery's portrayal of Bond, I need to see that movie.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, it's a pretty solid movie.
Losers did do their best. Winners go home and F the prom queen.
Yeah.
Such a great quote. Imagine Nick Cage as Bond.
My name's Bond.
Okay, I do want to see the camp come back. That might be dialing a little too high.
Have you beat the Holy Hell Doom Wad?
Oh yeah, this is a Doom stream.
Yeah, sorry, we got. Yeah, we need to bring it back to Doom. Let's bring it back to Doom. That was a fine tangent. Like it was fine that we did the tangent. That was fine, guys.
Yeah,
let's reel it in.
Chapter.
Yeah, exactly. But have you played the Holy Hell? Holy Hell, the Doom Wad?
I don't think I've heard of that.
I haven't either. What's it about, Vector? Can you tell us? But speaking of like favorite Doom Wads, the Simpsons one is pretty good. I talked about the Tim the Toolman Taylor mod.
Then there's a famous unofficial wad for Czech cereal.
Oh God! Okay, yeah, we're talking about that. Wait. Before I do that, Dave says, Michael Bay even all but admitted it, but scared to run the issue enough to not get sued. Yeah. Okay, we gotta talk about Chex Quest because, like, I think that was actually the first time I played a Doom game. It's so Lug, for the uninitiated, can you tell them what Chex Quest is?
Oh boy. Okay, so Chex Quest was a first-person shooter where you play as an armored Chex guy fighting booger aliens, and it was made in the Doom engine. It was sold in Chex boxes, and it
Given away
kinda,
in check boxes.
yeah, it was yeah, and it just kind of took off, and even has gotten a couple sequels.
Yeah.
Oh, and a remake.
Yeah.
Because essentially you're playing Doom, so that's why it did so good. You know,
Yeah.
it was like a rated PG-13 Doom.
Rated G Doom. I'd
Yeah,
say.
really.
Well,
You don't
I
even like
guess.
shoot and kill the booger aliens. You teleport them away.
Like, yeah, you can clearly tell this is Doom. Yeah, and like your melee is a spoon. Basically the second hardest Doom wad. But yeah, like, look at this. Cassie, you've never seen Chex Quest?
Oh, I've seen it. That's why I brought it up.
No. Yeah, I played this as a kid. This game was surprisingly fun. My favorite thing is somebody ported this game to Brutal Doom.
That's funny. But yeah, I mean, like, it's amazing how surprisingly well it runs and everything, and you know, unofficial Doom wad.
Yeah, well, you want to see something crazy? Take a look at the Doom Megawad Total Chaos, and yes, that is Doom. That is running on Doom.
All right, before I do that, I have this pulled up and I want to show it. This is Brutal Doom, but Chex Quest.
Yeah, blow them up, baby.
Yeah, baby.
They're on the walls anyway.
To the windows, to the walls. But yeah,
One
one
wad that I really enjoyed is the Castlevania wad.
Oh, Simon's Destiny. I think I introduced you to that one.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, I really liked that one.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of those, like, oh my god, the Doom engine can do that. It's more the power of GZ Doom, but yeah. Check this out. Yeah, this is like surprisingly like really, really good. Nope. All right, that works. Fine, whatever. But look at that. Like, how cool is that? This is Doom engine. This is running on the Doom engine.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Oh, you want to see what the Doom engine can do? Look at Total Chaos.
Oh,
like, this looks like something that would have officially released on a system, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, this looks like a building.
Hey, Road Flow, how you doing? Oh, no. Castor, your services are required.
Oh, hold on, yeah. Whoa. Yeah, well, they really.
So
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Yeah, so while Castor does his best Doom guy and takes care of that bot, oh god,
I had one today.
Yeah, another game that, like, oh my god, Sonic Robo Blast, like, just running on the Doom engine. Like, that is another example of, like, holy crap, the Doom engine runs that. Okay, running through the ads.
He has
And then
been banned.
thank you, sir. All right, there we go. And yeah. So this is, by the way, this is running on the Doom engine.
Oh wow.
Oh, it's American McGee's Alice.
By the way, I think they got this running on the 32X because of Doom Annihilation.
Wait, Doom
Okay.
Annihilation? How?
Because it's running on the Doom engine.
What does a movie have to do with Sonic Roboblast 2?
The new mod for the 32X Doom.
Oh, okay. Like, what is the connection between that 2019 movie and Sonic Roboblast 2?
But just imagine, like, if Sega team did something similar to this. This could have been Sonic on the Saturn.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like the Saturn could have run this. Like the Saturns are like literally. I want to see them port Sonic Roboblast 2 to the Saturn. Just to show what a Sonic game on the Saturn could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now they're going full Knights. They're literally
Oh.
literally Knights of the Dreams.
Wow.
Okay, that is creative. Yep, that's definitely Sonic on Saturn, all right.
Yeah, they're doing literally Knights in it. Like this game on the Saturn would have been amazing. And this is running on the Doom engine.
Wow.
Pictured Sonic Frontiers.
All right, so what was that Doom mod you wanted me to look up?
Total Chaos.
Okay. Total Chaos Doom. All right.
That is like the most "this is Doom" mod you'll ever see.
Let me just get some gameplay. It's a little bit dark. Oh, I think I've seen like tech demos of this.
Yep, this is Doom. Wait, we're barely seeing. Here we go. Yep, this is running on Doom.
Holy crap! Wow! Holy shaky! This looks almost like a Source Engine game.
This looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to play this.
Man, it's only been a few seconds and you already want it.
Yep, Cast is sold already.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, look at it. This is awesome. This is a Doom, wad. Holy shit!
Castor looks like he's about to blow his wad.
I'm about to blow my wad all over.
Well, at least have some tissues handy. That looks so good. That looks so cool. Like, this looks like a Source Engine game. I'm not joking. Like, if you told me this was like a Source mod, I'd believe you. Doom, not so much. This is what I love about like Doom mods. It's just the creativity that people have,
Yes,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is like up at the peak of the meta of can it run Doom? Can Doom run it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it got subverted.
So remember I was telling you about like the Tim Allen mod for Doom?
Oh yes, please.
Okay, it's only 15 seconds. I'm gonna get like a longer one. It's called Tim Allen Doom. It's so beautiful. Well, it's a shame because you won't be able to hear the sounds because I have the kind of thing. Right, here we go.
What is that?
Just wait.
Oh no.
This is Tim Allen Doom.
This is someone with too much time on their hands.
Okay, is it bad that I can recognize that this is episode 2, map 1, Demos Anomaly?
Nerd!
I can recognize what level this is.
Just based off the geometry.
Oh,
God, I love Doom modders. You beautiful bastards. But just this, yeah, this is peak. This is peak for me. But like, I know I briefly mentioned Brutal Doom, but we do need to talk about like Brutal Doom because that almost turns it into an entirely different game.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, there's like different variations. There's like voxel Doom. There's like Doom with like ray tracing on it.
Ooh.
There are so many ways to play Doom, guys. All right, check this out. This is Brutal Doom. It's a remaster. They did like a remaster level. How cool does that look?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, kind of thanks to Brutal Doom that I first got to use the super shotgun. Because yeah,
really?
I remember when I was playing Brutal Doom, I still hadn't played Doom 2 yet. I just had Ultimate Doom that I got from a CD-ROM. And I was in one of the levels in episode 4, and there's a part of the mod where like you can get fighting NPCs to follow you around, and they'll have a randomly selected gun, and if they die, you can pick up that gun. Well, at some point, I saw that in episode 4, my fighting NPC Space Marine backup buddy died, and I went to go pick up his gun, and it was a super shotgun in Doom 2.
Oh,
and that was the first time I got to use the super shotgun. I got a small taste of Doom 2, kind of by accident.
The super shotgun, that is like one of my favorite weapons. But yeah, look at that. How cool is that, Castor? All right. So, Castor, would you use that game to dig some graves? All right, Castor's indisposed at the moment.
Nope, sorry, Castor had his mic off for some stupid reason. I was sitting there talking. I was like, "Yeah, it looks awesome." Yeah, no, it looks very impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love the creativity. I'm a big fan of like open source software. Like if a game, like for example, some video game news. Did you hear they open source the Command and Conquer engine?
No, I did not.
That is a rare EAW. Yes, outside the wheelhouse. But I hate open sourcing a game code of a game that's like way old is always a good thing in my opinion.
So, are we going to get like a ton of new Command and Conquer games from the community now?
I don't know, but it's a little bit too early to tell. Plus, I'm like Lug, not really my scene. I'm not really a Command and Conquer guy. I'm not really
I might
even
jump in if they make it a crossover with Conquer the Squirrel.
Command and Conquer the Squirrel.
Yeah, just Command and Conquer. That needs to happen.
Please leave the stream. But yeah, it is amazing what fans can do, and if we're talking about mods and stuff, it's like how many game mods were then turned into actual games themselves. I mean, it's crazy.
Team Fortress, Counter-Strike,
yeah,
DayZ, PUBG,
yeah, all started as mods, and just got their own game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so many mods from the Quake era turn into actual games and game franchises. It's insane. Dota, like League of Legends, because Defense of the Ancients was a Warcraft 3 mod, and that turned into an entire genre. You know, the MOBA genre, birthed from Defense of the Ancients.
Is that what Dota means?
Yes, it was originally a Warcraft 3 mod.
Okay. Because I've asked people, I said, what is Dota? And they're like, what does it mean? They're like, it just means Dota. I'm like, what the fuck is Dota? You know,
A card game.
Oh, God.
a children's card game. Yeah, Brutal Doom to license. Yeah, id should have paid the developer of Brutal Doom to license an official release. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have been pretty darn cool. Not gonna
I
lie.
know the dev is working on an original game of his, Brutal Fate.
I mean, like, GZ Doom has birthed so many, like, boomer shooters. All right, so this is Defense of the Ancients. This is the original MOBA right here.
Okay.
Like you can really tell how this became, like League of Legends and whatnot. You can see it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Brutal Doom is definitely one of those things. And then Sega should have paid the developer of Brutal Doom to license an official release. Sonic, Sega hired, Christian Whitehead. They had it. They had him do like the Sonic CD release, and then they had him do Sonic Mania. The fact that they haven't had him do anything else since is kind of bad. I feel like Sonic Mania really helped bring Sonic back. You know?
Oh yeah.
Because like before Sonic Mania, Sonic was kind of in the doldrums, but like Sonic Mania, I feel like reminded people why they love Sonic. What do you guys think?
Oh, most definitely.
Let's see here.
But that's pretty cool that they hired that guy to do that. It's awesome. I mean, we need more W's like that in the industry.
Yeah, Capcom did something similar. There was this guy that was doing like a Mega Man X Street Fighter game, and they actually officially released it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like a PC only game. It was like freeware, but it's basically like a Mega Man game, but the bosses are Street Fighter characters. He did Freedom Planet. Yeah, I think I remember seeing that. Freedom Planet. And if you look at Freedom Planet, you can definitely tell it's a Sonic inspired game.
I mean, yeah, it started out as a Sonic fan game.
Yeah, there's a couple of those. Like I think Azure Striker Gunvolt was like it had a very Mega Man feel to it. All right. Yeah. All right, here's Freedom Planet.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember seeing an earlier design where, like, Lilac the Dragon here had a more Sonic-ish design with like a more peach tan mouth area, and of course, like Dr. Robotnik's mustache pretty much served as the basis for Lord Brevon's eyebrows.
Well, what I love about this is literally if you just replace it with a Sonic sprite, I would believe this would be a Sonic game, and that is a compliment. I'm giving this as a compliment.
No, yeah, it's like a 2D Sonic, but instead of having an emphasis on momentum, it's more combat focused.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to play this game. What is it on?
It's on Steam, Switch, I think. It's probably on other consoles.
Okay. Yeah, look, it looks fun. Yeah, it looks exactly like a.
Oh yeah, it's
yeah.
solid. And then and it has an absolutely phenomenal, even bigger sequel.
I need to check this out. I do love me some Sonic. I'm not gonna lie. And this is made by Christian Whitehead. Oh, we got the loop de loops.
There we go.
I'm not sure. Was it?
Oh, it looks very well made. I will grant you that.
Surprised, since it is like very similar. I'm surprised like Sega hasn't said anything.
I mean, it's legally distinct enough. I don't think they have really anything to stand on, and they know it.
Mm.
Because like the Sonic style is not really something that they like copyrighted or trademark. Cause like there's been a lot of games that have done the Sonic style. Right. I was wrong. Christian Whitehead didn't do Freedom Planet. It was other Sonic. Yeah, Penny's Big Breakaway, which was well received. All right, let's look up that one. I like seeing new things. So, if you guys got any games you want me to check out, please put them in the comments. So, if you guys got any like games you want me to look at,
it's interesting how I guess you'll see. It doesn't look very Sonic, but it does look very Sonic Mania, and I guess you'll understand what I mean by that when you look at it.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now. Another like I love these like the games where it's like we want to do a new X game but we can't, so we're gonna do a game exactly like it just without the characters. Oh god, you weren't lying. This almost feels kind of Kirby like also. Like this kind of reminds me of Kirby in the Forgotten Land. A little bit.
What is this called?
Penny's Big Breakaway.
Oh yeah, you know what? I think we actually saw this on a Switch video or a Nintendo Direct.
Okay.
Here it is. Here's Sonic on Saturn.
Yeah, we actually I remember yeah we actually watched this on a this was on a Nintendo Direct one time.
I'm gonna be honest, and what I'm about to say is in no way like an insult or anything. This looks more like Kirby in the Forgotten Land than Sonic.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I love Kirby in the Forgotten Land. That is a great game. But Castor, can you see what I mean, though?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, it's clear. I mean, because Sonic doesn't really play like this. This is like well, maybe some of the 3D ones, maybe, but this is more Kirby.
I could maybe see they were inspired by Sonic 3D Blast. Maybe for this, I could see that as like a modern interpretation. Like if they said they are going for that, I could see that. But to me, it seems like they're more inspired by Forgotten Land, which, by the way, is a compliment. I just want to say that.
Oh yeah. Also, something else. Did you notice her eyes? They're Sonic's eyes backwards.
Oh,
notice the
like
shape.
Art style wise, I can definitely see the Sonic Mania. Yeah, like the colors. Yeah, like the menus look straight out of Sonic Mania.
Yeah, you look at her face. Like notice her eyes. They're Sonic's eyes flipped over.
Oh. I like it. Yeah, this doesn't look like a game that I go out and play myself. I mean, if someone like forced me to play it, I'd probably have a good time. But that Freedom Planet, that definitely looks kind of my speed, not gonna lie. But yeah, any other games like I should look up and check out? Because I'm always down for stuff. But like, have you guys ever played Dead Cells?
No.
I haven't gotten to that.
I really love Dead Cells. To me, it plays a lot like a roguelike Castlevania, even to the point where they have a Castlevania DLC, and the Castlevania gameplay perfectly slots into Dead Cells. Like, I want the Dead Cells developers to do a Castlevania game. I mean, they kind of already have, but
yeah.
Like they even have like the Castlevania music. The gameplay is great. Dead Cells is a roguelike Metroidvania. Where like when you kill enemies, you get their cells, and you spend that cells on upgrades. But when you die, you lose everything. But any upgrades you have are permanent. Yeah, Dave. I'm just showing them this. So this is Dead Cells. You wake up in the cellar every time. Those are your upgrades that you've unlocked. Oh, it's like a weird thing. Okay. So yeah, now they're in the Castlevania proper. And you can't hear it, but they're playing the Castlevania music. It is so good. I really recommend this game. Like this is a game especially good for like portable because you can just do like one run and a run will last you like 15, 20 minutes. So just like squeeze out a run in between like stuff. So it's a really good on the go game.
Okay.
Because you get like different weapons throughout it and like they have different properties. Lug, what do you think about this game? Looking at it.
I probably should be trying more Metrovania games. And yeah, I've said
you're definitely not spoiled for choice. That's like every indie game does that stuff.
Oh man, yeah, no, I've said it before. I'll say it again. If I could make my own Doom game, it would be done in a Metrovania style. I want to double down on the labyrinths from the classic games.
That'd be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. I mean, I know a guy that does like 3D modeling, and he's pretty good with the Doom and like the Quake engine. So if you ever want, like, the only thing is he needs a programmer. Have you ever played The Messenger? I've never heard of that game. What's it about? And see, you're meeting Alucard right now. Castor, what do you think?
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, I do love this game.
Yeah,
and
the
I highly recommend
backgrounds
it.
look really good.
Yeah, it's a really good game. Got some good DLC. But yeah, while we wait for Dave to tell us about The Messenger, Castor, any games you'd recommend I check out?
Not top of my head. I don't really know any ones that are in development right now. I mean, the only thing I can think of is probably that Symphony of the Night for the Sega Genesis. See how far that's gotten. Because that guy's been working on that. That guy's been working on that for a while.
Yeah, I've seen stuff on it. Like, it looks pretty good. Is it just Sega Genesis?
Yeah, he's just doing it for the Sega Genesis, which I was like, yeah, I wish he would do it for something like the CD or the 32X. That way he'd have a little bit more, wiggle room, as it were. But no, he's just trying to do it on the
Messenger is like Ninja Gaiden cross. Yeah, I'm not a fan of like Ninja Gaiden games, mostly because I suck at them.
Yeah, those are rage inducing.
Yeah,
I went back to play the original one time on the NES, and yeah, yeah. I got so far, and I was like, "Yep, now I know why I threw my controller down all those years ago."
yeah. Like I have like okay gaming skills, but I suck at gaming. Like, not gonna lie. He's showing. Oh, he's showing. Here's a demo he's showing for this. But he says he's showing mostly PS1 footage. So, let me scrub through this. Yeah, he's showing. I don't feel like summer autumn 20. So I got Christmas 2024 and I got autumn 2024 update. All right, this one's old, but this is summer of 2024, so it's like, but yeah, look at that.
Yeah, this is supposed to be running on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not as hard as Ninja Gaiden. Symphony of the Night is probably like one of my favorite games of all time. I'll definitely be doing a playthrough of that at some point. Gosh. I mean, like, you wouldn't think Symphony of the Night would be that hard to run on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah. But they're both 2D games, but like, there's a lot more special effects and graphical stuff on the PlayStation thing, that it can handle. That's why I said, like, it'd be really cool if he could do it for the 32X or the Sega CD. That way, he'd have more wiggle room. He could probably do it close to what it is on the PlayStation with them. Even
Yeah.
be able to have, like, the original music on there probably. But I guess he's just
imagine. Oh, if he did like a 32X Sega CD kind of
yeah.
version.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, have all three components working together. Yep.
So he says, "What do you think of Bloodstained?" I love him. I've only played a little bit of Curse of the Moon, but it's pretty good. I suck at it, but it's pretty good. And Bloodstained is amazing, and I need to play more of it. Oh yeah, Bloodstained is a really fun game. It's basically the Castlevania game I always wanted. I need to play Curse of Darkness. That's the one for the PS2 and Xbox. Really good music. Because that one's a lot more action focused. Lament of Innocence, the one for PS2, is not bad. It's definitely a bit janky, and they're definitely going for like a Devil May Cry 1 style. But it's not terrible. Like, honestly, if they could fix like the cameras and tweak the controls for Castlevania 64, actually, Dave, I too was a backer for Bloodstained. I actually backed it as well. In fact, I have Bloodstained on the 3. I got when they did the Curse of the Moon. I got it on 3DS. And then I think I redeemed my Kickstarter on Switch, which in hindsight was a very bad idea because the Switch version of Bloodstained is trash. I actually rebought it on PC and it's much better. Castor, have you played Bloodstained?
No, I've not.
You really should. It's a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're into like the Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I remember the era of like around the time of Bloodstained. Do you guys remember what eventually got called the Coleco Chameleon?
No, what was that?
There was that console that was supposed to come out using the Jaguar shell. It was originally called the Retro RGB. The guy scammed. He was a scam artist. He was scamming people.
Oh yeah.
I played the first Lords of Shadow. It's not bad. Mirrors of Fate is actually pretty fun. That's more like a standard Castlevania game. It's 2D. But yeah, Lords of Shadow. Interesting kind of conundrum. I'm a huge Castlevania fan. Like, Castlevania is probably my favorite game franchise, or at least one of them. And I want a new Castlevania game so bad.
Well, I have the
Right.
I have the original trilogy. I have the Bloodlines for the Sega Genesis. I have Super Castlevania 4, and I have both of the Game Boy Advance games.
All right, here's my question for you guys, and this is for the chat as well. If another company was to make a 2D Castlevania game, who would you have do it? For me, it's either going to be Mercury Steam or Way Forward. I think Way Forward could do a really good Castlevania game. Theirs might be a bit more cartoony, but I'm not like I'm okay with that. Yeah, like you got to realize the entire reason Metroid Dread exists is because of Mirrors of Fate. Because they did Mirrors of Fate, and then they did Samus Returns, which was just using the Mirrors of Fate engine. Because if you play both games, like they do feel similar. And I think Metroid Dread is using the Samus Returns engine, like an extended version of it. So without Mirrors of Fate, we might not have gotten Metroid Dread. God, I love this timeline. But no, like it's one of those like weird knock-on effects of history that I just love.
Yeah.
So one could say, without Lords of Shadow, we would not have gotten Metroid Dread.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's a fair assumption. Yeah.
Because Lords of Shadow was decently successful, and so they did Mirrors of Fate is an integral, but like it was weird kind of thing. Oh, is that like the Blackgate one? I need to check that out. Because that's on the 3DS. I need to check that out. Arkham Blackgate, I think it's called. Yeah, they did it. I need to check it out. So yeah, it's a weird like knock-on effect of timeline. But I would love for Mercury Steam to do like just a fresh Castlevania game using their Metroid Dread engine. Can you imagine how good that would be?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they could do it because like the like the Shantae.
Shantae was way forward.
They did. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think they could do it, and then like oh, what was the other game? They also didn't Way Forward do the remaster of DuckTales.
They did. That's
So
a pretty good remaster.
So I think because I was trying to remember what they did, and I was like, yeah, that's because they've done it. Honestly, they've done a shit ton of games. So I was trying to remember some of them, but yeah, they handled those. So I mean, yeah, I could definitely see them handling like a remastered Castlevania. I can see them doing like a remastered version.
Another developer I could see doing it is .emu. They did Streets of Rage 4 and a bunch of other things.
I was gonna say them, yeah, them too, yeah, because they did a very damn good job on there, and it would be interesting if they did that kind of same art style where it was kind of like a drawn art style instead of a sprite.
I could see, like honestly, Axiom Verge, which I think is just kind of like it's more like on the Metroid side, but they could do a pretty good old school Castlevania. I could see that.
Yeah.
Imagine if Vanillaware did a Castlevania game.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yep.
But yeah, .emu, like they did Shredder, like .emu. They're more known for their beat 'em ups.
Yeah, Shredder's Revenge, and and they did
Metal Slug Tactics.
Oh
gosh, they've been around forever. Like Windjammers '94. Yeah, I could see .emu doing a good job. Axiom, like the Axiom Verge devs. Like I said, the Dead Cell devs, I think could do a good one.
Well, it's because they have like respect for and love of the source material, and it's not going to be just a shovelware. It's not going to be just something they throw out there. It's not going to be something the half-assed. It's going to be something that's going to be cherished by fans.
Agreed.
They actually care about what they put out.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting topic that I'd like to revisit from time to time. Like, what studio could do what? That's definitely a topic we're going to be revisiting from time to time because it's just like a really good kind of filler content. But I think that should probably do it for now. Before we go, I'm going to give member shout outs. So if you made this far, um, please um, consider liking the stream, subscribing if you can. Um, and then if you really like what you're doing, please consider becoming a member. That gets you shout outs on stream, which I'm about to do. And then also gets you custom emojis, and we'll also do streams once we have enough people. So, member shout outs. Jared from Comics League, I love you, buddy. JB, you're awesome. Jason, you're cool. Jason Ingram, you're cool. So, it's $49.99 a month. $4.99 a month to be torchbearer for the channel. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Thunder devs. I've never actually played the Thunders. So tomorrow, me and Jared will be talking about fandoms, fandom infighting and whatnot. That'll be a interesting topic, I would say. Tuesday, we'll be doing some more Final Fantasy VII. And then Friday, we are going to be talking about fan service in comics. So if you like boobies and if you like comics, you might want to check this out. And we'll have a special guest, Tonic the Mole. I mean, if I want to talk about boobies and comics, I had to get Tonic Mole on. The guy literally wrote the book. And then on Saturday, I'm not sure yet. We'll either be doing like a emulation hangout stream or Control episode 3. I haven't decided yet. So thank you everyone for joining. This was a really fun stream. And thank you for joining us, Lug. We'll have you on again at some point.
I want to see Visceral make a Doom game. Oh wait, Visceral's not around anymore, are they?
Oh, rest in peace. All right. Stay frosty, everybody. And remember,